All right, chat. Today we're gonna be changing oil, and I'm gonna be changing oil on this 2011 Honda CR-V. So first things first, I'm gonna pop the hood, and every car is different. This lever's for gas. My car has another lever on the side here for the hood. Basically pull that out, you got the hood open. We'll crack it a little bit, slide left and right until we feel that lever we're looking for. And while we pull this to the side, we'll be able to lift the hood up. Prop it on the stand. Basically put this right inside this little square. The arrow is pointing us into the square to put it. Now, take off the oil cap.
You get it filter off?
I didn't even take my filter off yet. What's what?
What's this bit? Yeah, don't worry. Trail can do it.
Okay. Shout out Trail.
You get it too to take off your filter?
Next thing you want to do is find out how much oil your car uses. Can you say that again? I didn't really hear you. And keep in mind, I'm doing an oil change, so I need to know how much oil I'm going to be using.
Here.
Sure thing. For an oil change on your 2011 CR-V EXL, you'll need about 4.4 quarts of oil, which is around 4.2 liters.
4.4, got it. All right, so this is the part where I crawl under the car. You want to look for, basically you want to get all the way to the engine. So I got some wiggling to do. If you look right here, you'll see our old oil filter, and then you'll see the oil release plug. It even says so. It even says engine oil right there for you to see. So I'm curious right now as to if I can loosen this out with my hand, because usually when you tighten it, you just hand tighten it. But when you take it off, sometimes you need a tool, you know. But it looks like this isn't really moving. Yeah, so I can't lose that with my hand. So I'm gonna test out this guy right here. I think this is a 14, and that's a little too small. So we're gonna get the right size. Still too small. A little too big. Cool, perfect. We can work with that. Now we're under the car. I got this guy on here on that same bolt that I showed you guys earlier. So I'm just gonna crack it open. Dang, this is on there pretty tight. I'm not gonna lie to you. I might need some leverage. Be right back. All right, guys, I got my leverage. And I got my my pan to hold the oil. So what I got for my leverage. Yikes, dude. So the tricky part about being under a car and working on the car is you want to try to find like a comfortable position where you could actually like pull and push. I hit my elbow and my knuckle somewhere. So I basically gotta work with this. Like I can't even turn over. Oh my. Anyways. So if you hit your elbow and your knuckle, you're gonna kind of just suck it up. Gonna let this oil come out. So I cracked it open, which basically means, oh my goodness. I cracked it open, which basically means it's loose now. So I'm gonna take my tool out. I'm gonna use my finger to undo this screw. And as I undo this screw, the oil's gonna start coming out. Oh my goodness. My elbow's on fire. I'm putting my hand in my ear like it doesn't have dirty greasy oil in it. Okay, we're coming out. Hand tighten. Oh! You're gonna hold on to this guy, because once all this oil comes out, all you're gonna do is put this back in and tighten it. So you can let all that good chocolate milk out the system. Look how bad this oil is. Hey y'all, I'm back with the tool, and I'm here to show y'all my injury. Y'all see that? Y'all see that cut on my finger? Listen, if you have a good mechanic, appreciate that guy, or that girl, or that gal. But to be fair, it's literally on ramps. I'm doing like a speed one right now. Otherwise, you would jack it up, put it on jack stands, one on each side, and you'd have a little bit more working room, but I don't need a lot of working room. So while that's coming out, we'll use this. It's somewhat adjustable. And I'm gonna get a good grip on that oil. Matter of fact, let me get a good grip on the oil filter, and I'm gonna crack this guy open too. Same way I cracked out the other bolt. I'm basically just initially loosening it so that I can use my hand to finish the rest of the job. Because if it's on super tight, all you gotta do is untighten it to a certain extent. Lovely. This is phenomenal. Outstanding work. Good. Good. Now I can loosen this with my hand, but it'll start leaking some more oil. So fun fact, I try to do this every time I change my oil. But if you don't want to do it every time you change your oil, at least do it every other time you change your oil. But keep in mind, if you take this out and you do this with your oil change, then you're gonna use a little bit more oil than if you were to do an oil change without changing this. So people don't always change this with their oil, but it's good practice. This is the old dirty filter, as you can see, looking real delicious. Now, if you're going to the store, you gotta buy the right oil for your car. You know, there's different types of oil. You also want to get the right filter because they're not all the same size. If you don't know what type of filter to use, just ask ChatGPT, like I do, or you can just go to AutoZone, tell them your make and model, and they'll get you the right one. My car uses S6607, and this is the new one. Before we screw it in, I have some oil on my finger. I'm just gonna rub a little bit of that oil on the rubber and on the inside piece a little bit. Use it to kind of like clean up my hand a little bit, just to, you know, help it sit down a little better. Now that we got that glazed on the rubber part, we're gonna screw it back in. I remember one time with my first car, I used that same tool that I used to remove it. I used it to tighten it, which I didn't need to do, but for some reason something compelled me and told me to do that. And while I was riding down the road, like, my oil kept getting low, and I kept seeing that light on my car. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I pull over, and then I squat down, look under the car, and I see oil shooting outside of my car, right in East Orange. Oil is shooting and spraying. Well, I didn't know it was oil at the time, but something was spraying from outside of my car. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I crawl under there, take a better look, and this oil filter had a crack in it, or a little cut or incision into the filter from that same red plier tool that I was using. So while I was using that to tighten it, I ended up poking a hole in the filter, and that caused the oil to like shoot out and spray. It was a direct line along the side of the car where all the oil was just splashing down. So I'm like, that makes sense. And I was trying to figure this out for like 2 days while my oil kept running low. So we got the oil filter back in. We're literally just gonna screw this guy that came out. We're gonna screw him back in. It's like we're emptying a water bottle basically, and then we're filling up that water bottle. But instead of having one cap, it has two caps. So that's on there. You don't need a tool to tighten your air filter. You could hand tighten that, but you do want to use a tool to tighten that bolt. So these gloves are completely disgusting. So I'm gonna use my tool without any gloves because the messy part is done. The messy part is done already. So we're gonna tighten that. Cool. No more drips. Now we're gonna go to the engine and pour this oil in. I'll see you out there. Hey, quick question. How much oil do I need to fill up this 2011 CRV with the oil filter change again?
With the oil filter change, you'll still need about 4.4 quarts of oil. So you're all set with that amount.
4.4, that's how much we need. All right, bro, appreciate it. I think I'm done with him.
You're welcome. If anything,
How did he hear me? I muted him. So 4.4, it's a little less than 4.5. It comes with 5 quarts. So if it's 5 quarts and we're doing 4.5, then we'll be left with a half, right? So we're gonna be left with half a quart, somewhere around that. So this is the funnel I'm gonna use. Look, somebody already wrote 4.5 in chalk on that. Probably like the last person that did oil on it. So this is 5 quarts. We'll put 4.5 or about, and then we'll be left with about half a quart. We could read that to tell. I don't like throwing trash on the floor anywhere I go, so I just be putting it in my pocket. Oh no! So how was your day? You know, happy 4th of July. So if you got a good look at this oil, it's much cleaner looking than the stank oil that came out when we were under the car. It looks golden, like apple juice. I wonder if it tastes like apple juice. Probably not. If I get 50 likes though, I'll do a taste test. Whoa, it's almost empty. Let's see how much we got. Yeah, well, okay. So I'm looking at the level right now. And we're almost there. So I think we're pretty much done here. Yeah. So we got a little bit more than half left, which is fine because we need a 4.4 technically. So we're just gonna close this bad boy up. Take this funnel out. Put this screw back on, and then dip this guy back in. Cool. So technically, oh, my elbow too, bro. I definitely scratched my elbow somewhere. So oil change is technically done. So if you turn on this car, you'll see 5%. But there's a combination of stuff you got to do to get rid of that. How do I reset the service light on it?
to reset the service light on your 2011 CRV, you can follow these steps. First, turn the ignition to the run position, but don't start the engine. Then press the trip reset knob until you see the oil life indicator on the dashboard. That should reset your oil life back to 100%.
So I just held it and now it's blinking cancel underneath my oil life.
The way your CRV indicates that it's ready.
All right, bro.
No worries at all. If you do end up checking...
I'm done with you. Bye. Bro's wasting my time telling me nonsense. Except for oil life cancel on temperature. With cancel blinking, this should take about. Okay, let me make it start blinking again. This button basically like changes what mode that's in. Like it'll show you either your oil life or how many miles you have on that car or how many miles you have on that total trip. A bunch of stuff. Ow, my finger. Bro, I gotta check out my elbow, dude. Oil, okay, so we basically turn this guy. Oh. So, okay, so it blinks. Okay, so when you turn this, it basically blinks on whatever's selected. Oil life, cool. With oil life blinking, push and release this. Okay. Okay, I pressed it. Okay, now my regular stuff is blinking. Now I should be able to press and hold. Hey! First startup. Now we got oil life back to 100.
I made stuff on it. Don't roll it.
All right. All right, guys. Oil change done. Let me see what my elbow looks like. I hope it's not like freaking scratched or anything. Oh, well, it's just a little. It's not too crazy. Put a Band-Aid and some ointment on it. All right, so this concludes my my oil change tutorial. I'm about to clean up under there and then, you know, do all that stuff. Pretty easy stuff. I'm saying pretty easy, but not everyone might know how to do this. But yeah, that's basically what you do. How you get the car up is completely up to you. But yeah, appreciate you for watching this. This is how you change your oil. So it's good practice to keep an empty container. So I had 2 containers of oil. One had a little bit and one was brand new. I used the brand new one to fill up the car, and then I poured the little bit that was left in here into that other container so I could use this empty container. Long story short, put the dirty oil into, dang, I need some gloves. Long story short, put the dirty oil into a separate container and then take it to AutoZone or your auto store. Advanced Auto Parts is good too, and they'll dispose of it properly. Or they'll show you the bin to take it to dispose it. Because you can't put this down the sink, down the toilet. You lost your mind. This is the old oil filter. When you use that tool to take the oil off, you kind of squeeze and press into it, which goes back to that story that I told you guys before. Okay, let me be smart about this. Try to absorb that as quick as possible. Okay, that shouldn't really drip anymore. In regard to my injuries, I just went inside and I put a Band-Aid on my finger and I put a Band-Aid on my elbow. Of course, I put triple antibiotic ointment on before I put the Band-Aid on. And I intend to keep these covered at all times except for when I shower or when I sleep maybe. But throughout the day, these are gonna stay covered all day so that in like 2-3 days, I'm perfectly healed and it's like nothing ever happened. For a triple antibiotic, you could use Neosporin. I recently started using something that starts with the letter B and has a green cap on it that screws off. And it's supposed to have lidocaine or something, I believe it's lidocaine, built into it to help with pain in addition to it being a triple antibiotic ointment. It's supposed to like help it hurt less as well, so that's kind of cool. So I got most of it out. I mean, the residuals, they could go down the sink for all I care, but this is the container of oil. Hey Zyder, why are you giving that to me? Well, hold on to it for now. My hands are dirty. I can connect it to your iPad for you later. You want to do that? Okay, take it back in. So we covered up the oil. Now you just got to clean up, you know, be a responsible adult. Clean up after yourself. So I'm here in AutoZone with some containers of dirty oil. And this is where you're you're gonna dump your oil, literally right in there. I don't know why all this other stuff is here, but basically. So my dad's doing an oil change on his other truck too, so we're gonna reuse these same bottles to transport the dirty oil.